Valley of the Moon has been making local entertainment for 93 years.
And they are continuing that tradition this October by presenting The Case of Sleepy Hollow. We'll get a sneak peek here in just a few moments, but first, Leora Renteria is here to tell us more about Valley of the Moon. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's a pleasure to be on here. Thank you so much for having us.
Oh, absolutely. Now, we did mention that you guys have been making entertainment for 93 years, but tell me a little bit more about you.
Well, I've been working with productions since 2011. I've been with a couple of productions, but a lot of our volunteers have been here their whole lives. Some of them have just started, and a lot of people find that it's a home away from home. It's a magical place.
Yeah, so let's get more in detail about that. What makes it so magical or so unique?
Well, Valley of the Moon is a nonprofit historical fantasy land. It's got a long history. It is recognized by the national, state, and locals as a historical landmark, and it's very significant in the community. And so I believe that that magic really does show itself with its volunteers, because it is run entirely by our volunteers since its creation.
And of course, we're going to be coming now to see The Case of the Sleepy Hollow. Tell me what we can expect if we come and see this, I guess, performance?
It is a performance. It's a walking tour. It's like no other play that has ever been done before. Tours leave every 15 minutes, and you are taken on a magical adventure through our landscape, and you are going scene by scene in a guided tour and shown through the case of Sleepy Hollow. Basically, Ichabod Crane has gone missing, and Detective Dewdrop, the fairy, part of the Fairy Bureau of Investigation, must help discover the identity of the Headless Horseman and save Ichabod Crane.
That sounds awesome, and it's perfect for this time of year.
Right,
Sounds
yeah.
great.
It's family friendly, kids love it, families come, people of all generations find that they find a place that they've never come to before at Valley of the Moon.
So if anybody's watching and they want to know how they can support Valley of the Moon and storytelling in Tucson, how can they do that?
Well, they can first come see the show, but spread the news. We love when people talk about Valley of the Moon, which is why we're so glad to be here with you guys. But just coming to see the show is a great support. Being a member of Valley of the Moon is a great support for us as well. And just bringing, you know, your love for Valley of the Moon is one of the greatest things you can do. And that's all we really ask is for time, treasure, and love.
That's awesome.
Perfect. And I think actually Crystal's going to give us all of the details about when and where we can come and see you guys. I know we're going to see a performance, but thank you so much for coming.
My pleasure.
Thank you. You're invited to the Case of Sleepy Hollow on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights starting October 7th. Adventure starts every 15 minutes. To learn more, call 323-1331 or visit TucsonValleyoftheMoon.com.
Now here is a performance by Valley of the Moon.
Detective Dewdrop, I presume. Zogog the wizard sent me a carrier pigeon telling us to expect you. I'm Katrina Van Tassel. This is my father, Baltus Van Tassel, and my fiance, Brom Bones. Please, what can we do to help?
Miss Katrina, you were the last person reported to speak with Mr. Crane on the night he disappeared. Is that true?
Yes, when he asked for my hand in marriage.
And you said?
Ichabod is a good man, but I see him nothing more than my dear teacher.
Mr. Bones, were you and Mr. Crane rivals for Katrina's hand in marriage?
A mouse could never rival a... What's the saying?
They were rivals in every aspect, Detective.
A lamb? No, not a lamb.
Mr. Bones was always trying to scare Ichabod with his silly ghost stories.
A camel? No, they spit.
And Ichabod would mock Mr. Bones for his lack of education.
That's it. A mouse could never rival water off a duck's back. Crane thinks he's so smart, but he's just a know-it-all coward.
I see. Mr. Crane was spotted fleeing the Headless Horseman near a hollow tulip tree. Are you familiar with the area?
I can guide you there myself. Father, this will not take long.
Then you may go, but hurry home.
Please follow me to the tulip tree, Detective Dewdrop.